Prakash or
Sir, officer, sir. Mudinch, sir.
oh, okay, thank you. No problem, right? Okay. Say after a long time.
Yes, sir. After a long
So
time.
fine. Okay,
Work
Prakash. I think we can
sir.
start.
Yes, sir. We can start, sir.
Yeah. So okay. Ma'am, Subhashri, ma'am, you are ready now, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So very good evening to everyone. I think today is almost like day 5. So maybe I request all the people to unmute. Okay, thank you. So day 5. So today I think it's going to be like some important session. Almost I think you have started with some carbon neutrality. Then it has gone to the level of chemical engineering subject and introduction. And today I think you are going to see a new topic. I think very important topic. I think on the final year, I think you are going to once you get inside any industry, I think this system is going to be available in all the companies where you are going to work out. And this is going to play a very big role. It is not only like in India, across the world. It is nothing but a QMS. Uh, uh, that is IMS, we say, integrated management system, which is a combination of QMS, that is quality management system, which we would have seen everywhere like ISO 9001 and 2008, such a things, or 2016 everywhere. And it is also include EHS, that is like EMS, environment management system, and OSHA. So we have a wonderful speaker, I think, who is joining from our Tamil Nadu Electricity Board, who is also state government employee, and he is like a assistant engineer. Very dynamic person of Prakash has joined today. Thank you so much, Prakash. I think even sitting at home, I think you could able to give your own visionary thinking about QMS for the students. Here we can see that it's all final year students of chemical engineering department. So almost 5 different college people have been joined here, and so definitely I think this QMS or EMS or OSHA is very important in their career. And also I think big opportunities opening up across the world, and they can always use this opportunity once they become a internal auditor or lead auditor, or a scope of documentation. Definitely I think this session will open out much more eye opening for them, because they might be studying this paper in now, I think in maybe last semester they'll have one paper. In that I think ISO will be like a one chapter, I feel, when we studied. But now I don't know whether it might be like increased. So definitely I think Prakash would be giving a lots of importance of this system, and how every company is adopted, and what is the importance of documentation. So as engineering, I think you might be writing so many assignments and records and everything. And once you get inside any industry, how this is going to be evaluated. So that is very, very important in all the industries and all the meetings. So with all this, I welcome our Prakash Muralidharan, who is been joined here. So without wasting much time, I would like to invite our Dr. Subhashri, who is the head of this internship, to introduce our speaker of the day, Prakash.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. So here we have Engineer Prakash Muralidharan, who is a BE graduate from Anna University in 2010. He is designated as SAP MM consultant, and he is currently in Tangentco. He has got almost 5 years of functional experience in designing, configuring, testing, and documenting of MM through version 6.0 with one end-to-end implementation. He has intensive experience in gathering business requirements, configuring preparation of functional specification documents, user requirement documents, and helping developers with the creation of software requirement specifications. He is good in process management skills with an ability to effectively understand the business requirements to develop a quality product. He had been in various companies like Siemens, and RRB Energy Limited, Victory Electricals Limited, where he had a major responsibility of configuration of warehouse structure in the SAP with the existing support, and supporting and providing training to the end users in the managing the inventory through radio frequency devices, implementation of warehouse management with material management related activities. He has also been responsible for tender designing of power transformer up to VA rating 25 MVA voltage, and he is he was in charge of designing transformer as per the technical specification. He is also a qualified internal auditor for integrated management system, and his profile keeps on going on. So due to time constraint, I've just given an outline of his profile. Uh, so I hereby welcome Mr. Prakash Muralidharan to give an insight of integrated management system to all our interns. Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, madam, for your introduction. Thanks a lot for your brief introduction, madam. This experience I got for 10 years, madam. This is an experience where I started from 2010. I started a career in transformer design. In the tender design, I used to design a transformer which is without any software. So then the documentation was without any software means the document is the prime source. After then, I stepped into wind company, and as a madam said, I slowly developed knowledge with the documentation. So as an engineer, the documentation is a part of technical works. Thank you very much, madam, for your Gokul sir. Thank you very much for your introduction as well, sir. So let's go for the topic. As we see, today's topic is towards the management skill. Is a part of a skill where we used to document. So if you consider as you yeah, the standards, so many standards are there in your throughout the life, where we see every product has a standards. So without standards, no products will be released into the market. So as a person, we also has a standard, right? So as a ISO has quality, so product has qualities. So as a person, you also has a quality. So before getting into the subject, or without learning into the product, let's learn about ourselves first, and change is needed inside ours. Then we will can change the outside world. So as young engineers are there in our session, so we will be starting to change them for the current scenario where we need more uh, skills development inside. So this is the, you can see the slide, the inside versus outside, right? So I have given inside a box, and outside is empty white space, and inside is a black. So consider that our inside is black, so outside is white. So if you see here, the outside may be positive and negative, both will be there. So as a person, we must change first inside first. So before getting into the quality management system or environment management system or OSHAs, this three is combined, and we say as one name as integrated management system. So this integration, what is this integration? The integration is nothing but the quality and environment and as well as safety. This three part is very, very essential for an organization. The standard is developed for an organization, but for an engineer, one engineer word, we can say that this is a professional word. That engineer word needs this three part essential to be skill developed separately. So we must change inside first before getting to the product. So I will show you one picture where we check. This is a psychology test where we used to. This test is used mainly in armies, where they will recruit the people for higher grades like lieutenant, governor, or brigadier. So before that, I will just 5 minutes. We will go through this part test where your psychology will be tested with. So I will show you one picture. In picture, I will show you for 30 seconds that picture. So please, in your chat box, please now open your chat box now itself. So we will be interacting more in through the chat box only. So please, in your phones or laptop, whichever you use, please open the chat box and choose everyone. And in that, you whatever in throughout the section I ask a question or ask a queries, you must answer through that part. So now I am going to raise one part where I will show you a picture for 30 seconds. So please watch this picture for 30 seconds, and I will remove the picture after 30 seconds. So I will give you another 30 seconds to write or type in your chat box. So you must type what is your first thought or what is your first expressions are like, you must develop one small story. In one line we can develop one small story, right? So 2 lines. So I will give you around 1 minute, 1 minute time. So 30 seconds I will show you the picture, and after that 1 minute time is given to type that story what you developed in the chat box. Please open the chat box now itself and keep it ready so I can go ahead. Okay, whatever your phone you are using or laptop you are using, please open the chat box now itself. So okay, I will go for 30 seconds. I will show the picture as well. Okay, so this is a picture. So I removed the picture. Please in the chat box just type your part. Jay Surya has typed, the man is repairing a bike tire. Okay, fine. So we have got a n number of stories here. So stories as well. The cycle tires are repaired and a punctured wheel. Okay, I can see a word. I can just highlight the word in the story. The punctured. Sorry, punctured. One guy is repairing. Okay, so punctured and repaired. Okay, so we got a story of this picture like uh, is punctured, right? It is punctured or repaired. So the if the precipitation, we can say this is the precipitation of these students who have initiated very good. They have initiated the stories as well. They put in. We have around participants around 70 plus. We got 10 replies for it. Very good for these 10 persons who have done it very initiated very well. So I appreciate the initiation what you done it. So then now I will analyze the each stories. So I can see here the story is a mechanic. They have given him a name as a mechanic and he is repairing the bike. Okay, so I will show you the picture. So we can see the punctured, but in the what makes you think this is punctured? Okay, so none of them got any innovation. He is doing something new. He is discovering something new. He is bringing some good ideas, and he is developing one bike with which is going to run in running water, right? Maybe an invention. So none the who has initiated or thought. Anybody has thought like this? Please type it as one in your chat box. Anybody has thought it like that? The story will be like innovation or good idea. I will develop what I have in my research part, what I am researching, the student will be researching, right? They will go into innovation. So anybody has got that idea that he's that person who is doing is innovating something. Innovation. Anybody? If thought means, please type the chat box as one. Anybody? 70 plus is in participants. So please, anybody has thought like this? That's it. This is our first thought, right? Just our first thought is full of negatives, right? So punctured, where I showed punctured, you can see this picture and developed as no puncture, right? You can develop anything, right? You can straight away go for innovation. Why nobody has gone for innovation? So we must change inside first rather than change outside. Okay, so this exercise will give you taught you a lesson that you must change inside first. So for changing inside, we need several skills to be developed. That one of the skill is standards. The standards is not only for the product, for the people as well. So you can maintain the standards in your home itself. In your, you can see your private rooms will be like dustbins, right? It will be like a dustbin, but you must convert into museum, right? This is our part of standardization. The standardization gives you to convert the dustbin into museum. You can see the museum, right? How will be the museum? The space will be there. Every things will be kept in right place, right? Like that, you must develop your skills in your home itself. You can, many number of activities are available in home itself. Do not search outside. In your home, within you, everything is within you. This in this army, they test this purchase picture prescription description test. This how I know means, as an engineer, I tried in army for 5 years. I have invested, so I gone through the last stage and disqualified. Right. So I am just giving you the ideas as well, where the engineers can go into the army as well as any engineer, any discipline. They are taking in three forces: armed forces, army, navy, air force, even the coast guard. So all the students will be gone through this level of psychology test. We tell this psychology test as 15th level. So please develop your skill with innovation, not as a punctured or repaired by seeing your precipitation itself. Your precipitation gives you low level. That's why we tested this part and given you this 15th level top test in psychology. So right people, so you now you might have changed inside. What will be must be changed inside. You have got some int to change inside. Now we are going for this three standards, right? So what we are given as the topic as a three standard. So these three standards, ISOs, anybody had heard about ISO, right? So everybody will be thinking that Indian standard of organization, right? So we have a abbreviation that everybody will be thinking ISO as Indian standard of organization. No, I have given you that international organization of standards. So this is an international, right? So as an auditor, if you have a certificate, you will be qualified for international level, not in within India. The ISO itself says that, the abbreviation itself says that you are qualified for auditing. So who will become an auditor, right? So who will become a fault finder, right? We will say the fault finder first, rather than auditor, right? Why is fault finder? Our father will be fault finding, right? To screw yourself or not, to step by steps develop you, or just as a you step by step develop in your within inside as well as outside. So this standards will help you to manage these parts. Before getting into this ISO, I will just give you a slight topic on 5S. Okay, so anybody heard about 5S, right? So just type the chat box in one, right? So please respond. We will be chatting in chat box only. So please respond. Anybody know about 5S means? Please in chat box type it as one. Anybody? Yes. Yeah. Good. Yes, I know it, right? So So I will give you just 5 years means what. Just I will have a hint of this 5 years. Then we will go for that part. So 5 years. First S is sort. Second yes says set in order. What you sorted, set in order first. Okay. Then you can um, shine, right? The third yes says shine, and fourth says standardize, and fifth yes says sustain. So these are the 5 years what we have it. So the Steve Jobs discovered it the 5 years. Super, the iPhone 5 years. Uh, as Asai. From our side, it says 5 years means Steve Jobs discovered it. Good. Your precipitation is much more higher because this 5 years will help you in phone. This 5 years will help how to manufacture that iPhone. Okay, what the Steve Jobs has cultivated. You, if you want to become a Steve Jobs or you want to become a manufacturer, how the 5 years iPhone he has made it. If you visit sector, you can find what is 5 years. Good. The 5 years he says the Steve Jobs has discovered, the ASA has did, but what how he developed it will be implemented in his manufacturing sector. Okay, the 5 years first yes it says what it says sort unused and used thing, then set in order. Okay, then you sign it means clean every part. After work you must clean it, and standardize it. That is the fourth yes what it says, standardize it. So there itself you have initiated the standardization part. You must make it standard. Whoever the person changes must follow that rules. So make it, then sustain means daily follow it the rules. Okay, the standard is nothing but making a rules. That's it, the one word. These three standards, why it is there? To make a rules. The rules must be followed through the 5 years, what is we say as sustain. So sustain means what? The fifth year says sustain means daily it must be followed, daily repeatedly it must be followed. So please note these points as well. Make a paper or notes. This will be very helpful for you guys to get a job or with a good recognized professional job. We have plenty of jobs, right? So if you are a student itself, if you practice this kind of professional words, right? 5 years and ISOs, what he says, you can follow in your home itself. So please follow it in your home, and definitely your room can be become this 9001, where the documentation your book is you are in yourself. You can use this 5 years concept and make it. So please use this 5 years where I can say again. I will repeat: sort and set in order, and shine, and as well as standardize, and last 5 says sustain. Okay, so then I will go for this 9001 2015. First I will take this 9000 and pick it up for level. So this is the intro where the ISO has been first developed in. Okay, so now we are going for 9001. This ISO 9001 you might have seen in your every company's board, every manufacturer company's board, service company's board, and as well as government companies as well. So now the government is taking over this 5 years also to standardize their documents. See, everywhere this standard is there. So please concentrate on this part where please take a notes. And simple thing, I have given you the fingers was 1 2 3 4 5. The 5 steps will be going for 9000. If you follow this standards will be understood. This standards will be understood. Okay, so I am going for first step where I can see this is the first step. So in 9001, what it says, identify the promises you make to your customer, right? So the customer is the partner. So 9001 says to satisfy the customer. So please note in the key, right? So the customer is the to satisfy the customer. So 9001 is framed simply. So first steps to identify the customer. What are the promises? I can give it a picture, right? To a easy understanding. So this picture will tell you what is the promises. If you deviate your promises, what will happen? You know, I think so. So please look in this slide where it is cleanly says that you must identify the promises. So in design itself, the customer's requirement must be filled. So for a design, what is the input for the design? So input for the design is technical spec, right? What is the tender, what he asked, how level he asked, what is the product spec. So the spec is very very important to satisfy the customer first. So he will be testing, right? The product will be tested by the customer. So what is requirement, we must cleanly understand and promise it. And we are going for the second step, where we have identify what you do to deliver the promises you make. Okay, then the delivery part is coming. So you have designed the product with what the norms or requirement, what the customer rises. So we are going to deliver it. It is capable for deliver, because your organization must be on profit, right? So you cannot deliver what the customer is asking exactly. So your organization must also develop. So you just identify the delivery part. What can I do for the customer to be delivered? This is the second part what we are looking for. So gift. So I am made a promises. Now I am giving a gift, right? Well, you can take a picture, right? So this is a gift. What it is inside, right? What is you made a promise? It will be delivered. So I am going for this third step. Use dashboards, right? This dashboards you can see nowadays as an electronic. Now for 10 days, 10 years before or 20 years before, were in papers, right? Now we have given in the dashboards in electronics, right? So as a customer, you must track your design part as well as delivery part. The step 1 and step 2 must be initiated with tracking part. So tracking in the sense, if a manufacturer is tracking, so he has a spec is as a reference, and what are the spec he has covered in the design. How we will do? We will book a checklist for it, a complete checklist. That checklist must be has a document number, and we must file it according to our standardization. So here you can use the 5 years concept exactly for the document part. So what are the documents? You first is sorting, right? What is the sorting? Usable things you must be kept in one place, and the unused thing you must be separating it. So the separation part, what you do, that is a concept. So what you raise is you must have a tracking. So tracking you can use as a checklist, small. And in your level, I am talking, not I am talking with the organization level. What you practice, what you can understand as a student, I am just talking with you. Just put a tracking for a roadmap for a destination to deliver that promised product. So now we have fourth part is list the areas in which your organization that need fixing, right? So once we track our more roadmap we put, we will have some negative as well. We will be lagging somewhere in our design path, or as well as in delivering that spec, right, in first 2 steps. So we must fix that negative part with a positive, right? So to deliver that promise, we must fix all the stages what we grew. This standardization of document will be helping you. So in your Google, if you type ISO 9000, so 2015 or 2018 is the latest, where you can download all the strategies, promises, everything. So mainly in the ISO 9001, the objective is the part. What in the year, what I am objective I am setting. According to the objective, we will make a policy as well. So policy and objective is the two words which will be useful for for the organization. So as well as a student, you can take within you to set a goal. So in yourself as an objective, you can make it as yourself as a objective. You can set it. This is the, if you set as an objective, automatically this fourth part you will give a solution for it, fixing how to fix it, and as well as a policy. A policy, what is the difference between these two words? The policy is nothing but a rule will be kept throughout your life, right? The policy, this is my policy, but objective, it may be changing by year. What you achieved, if you achieve, you will go for another objective, right? So every year changes. This part, two part, if you normalize it, this steps will be fixed. So now we are going for fifth part. So follow up and execute all priority list. That's it. What you made as a checklist, follow up is essential. So if you, I have say, I tell you the fifth yes, no, the third yes, right? What is third yes? The shine. What is shine? Shine means, I told you, the clean, right? So clean, you can clean or inspect. So inspect through clean, right? If you inspect only, the clean will be happening. If you do not visit there, the cleaning process will not be done. So inspection is not done means definitely their cleaning will not be done. So if I can take a best example as our Indian Army, right? So what, when you are talking about Indian Army everywhere for every standards, because the people who are in will be standardized first, after then the organization. So as well our Indian Army as well as has IN1000, definitely it has 9001, it carries as well, but it is not a manufacturing, that's why it doesn't has EMS and as well as OSHAs. But 9001 it carries, it is there. So because this Indian Army has 9001, uh, they are documenting every part they are documenting, but before documenting they will educate that employee first very well. So they will give training as well. We have n number of trainers to train it. So the employers nowadays, the organization itself will giving these kind of standards for their own employee to do it. So to follow up and execute and prioritize the list. This is the fifth part where we are end of 9001. This is the 5 steps. If you follow this, these standards will be applicable on that product with finished. If the raw material is in first step, means the fifth step will be a finished goods. That finished goods will be very good, will be developed, will be delivered to customer, to the customer satisfaction. So the customer satisfaction is very much important in this exercise, in the standards as well. So this is the talk. This is the main follow up or main criteria of this 9001 ISO 9001 standard. So anybody has doubt in this 9001 can raise in the chat box. Anybody has doubt can use the chat box and raise it. In 5 points I have told you. Anybody has doubt in step 1 or step 2 or step 3 or step 4? If you are understood, also type 2. If you are understood 9001, you can type 2. Anybody has? Yeah. Aravind, good. Aravind, thank you. Good. Santosh, thank you. Yeah. So mere to you have understood, right? So please implement this concept in your home itself. Start today itself. Standardize your home first. You can have a practice session or activities you can do straight away from straight away in your start from home itself. So you can have you first, you will be a better person. Then if you, whoever hires you will be a better organization. So I'm going for thank you very much for your replies. Everybody's good. So next we are going for another standard where we have this is the standard ISO 14001 2015. This is a, so EMS, we say environment management system, where in 9001 we have primarily concentrated on customer, right? So we have primarily concentrated on customer. Now we are primarily concentrating on environment. Okay, so we have satisfied the customer, right? So how we are satisfied? We might be polluted the environment. All right, we may be polluted the environment. It will be not, nowadays we are doing that part as well, right? We are one species as satisfaction, another species as into miserable, right? Everybody is species, we are also species, right? One kind of species. So by giving 9,000 we are satisfying one species, and no other species must survive, right? So we are stopping everybody. So other species we are introducing another thing. So environment management system. So this also we us as a species, we must save other species. So this will be helpful for saving other species. Okay, this environment management system will tell you how to manufacture a product without affecting the environment. This is the concept, right? So this is the easy understanding. So how you manage. So if you see, for example, asbestos, right? Asbestos is the very harmful for environment. But what to do? Our country is developing country, right? We doesn't procure high quality and make a house, right? So we are using low cut and doing it. So whatever the manufacturers who keep in mind how to dispose this asbestos, right? We cannot dispute this. It cannot. It is a fossil. It will be available in the soil for years, for years, definitely. If you make a product with asbestos, definitely it will be in soil. Definitely, it will throw back to you again. Definitely, it will throw back to you. When you put in soil, definitely in some other way, it will throw back to yourself only, because you will be digging there, and again he will be taking the asbestos and throw in other soil, right? But what the earth is beautiful, right? Whatever you put in, it will be throwing back to you as a bounce. So how to tackle that part? So sufferers are we, and species too. N number of endangered species are developing currently. For that, we must need this EMS. So this EMS will help you in two aspects. This aspect and impact. Okay. So what is aspect? What is impact? So for example, if I use a if I use a aspectro gloves, you are all medical, you are all chemical engineers, right? So for that you will be using n number of gloves, which is manufactured in different quality and different material, right? If you purchase a low quality, poor buy, what to do? He doesn't have money, so you'll be procuring low quality. That disposal method, that if you dispose it, that low quality, it must be eco-friendly, but low cost will not be eco-friendly. So as a chemical engineers, this kind of research and innovation you must do again, how to develop a product which is friendly to the environment, which is more important, which is much more important, as our corona also teached a lesson for a human mankind species. So now we are suffering, right? How corona things we developed and give to other species, how it was suffering, right? What we are now, we are realized. That's how the in Australia we can see forest are firing, right? Forest fires are more. In this species has been damaged. Our we can say in Tamil, right? Karadi and all, deer, bear, everything is gone. As a kangaroo, we see, yeah, we cannot see the videos what in YouTube, right? The past in January this year, right? It is worst. So this kind of things we can minimize it. Just we cannot make it zero. Environment is like it's a ocean, right? It is a very big concept. So we can not make it zero, but we can minimize it with single digit. I think within the air quality as well, even the soil erosion is happening, right? If you see soil erosion like things in your go to hill station, see where you go to hill station, there is not any chill climate. In Ooty, if you go, it is not a chill climate now. That's also becoming hot. So everywhere is becoming hot. So if you go to Kodaikanal, there also you cannot observe much temperature dip what is in before 10 years. Now it is has slowly there also 1 degree or 2 degree temperature has raised. So we are going, this is mainly, please understand students, you are the change, right? Please note these points and create change in our society or in throughout the world. So we will talk about this aspect and impact now. So identifying your companies, right? Companies, environment, aspect, and impact. So what is you required to identify the aspect first? So you for a better understanding, I will say this paper. Paper is an aspect, right? But how you make a paper? By cutting a tree. So impact is on environment, trees. So if you cut more trees, and what you will do? No oxygen, carbon dioxide increases. So in your atmosphere, 100%, more percentage is what? Nitrogen only is 78%. Our oxygens are very, very low, around 8% or single digit it is. So now we are decreasing that too. So now we are wearing masks. One, we may carry a cylinder for oxygen breathing. So please, as a students, we need your innovation and creative minds. Be creative. That is the part. So identifying your company's environment aspect and impact. Now we must find the environment aspect defined. So the standard says what the standard says as define the aspect as the element of our organization activities or product or service that can be interact with the environment. See, so whatever the company uses, it may be from the housekeeping to the full product, all the product must be eco-friendly. That is the standard says. So because everything is if you buy eco-friendly, the disposal is easy, very much easy. You must frame the disposal method as well. So if you use a gloves as an asbestos straw, people will be using for a oven, right? Your oven, if you say if you are a mechanical engineer, the bearing will be heated, right? The bearing will be heated. You will be taking that barrier out. Bearing will be out, but you will use asbestos gloves rather than good quality or leather quality. If you use asbestos for 10 purpose or 10 times or 20 times, you cannot use continuously. So we must dispose this gloves as well. How to dispose it? If you burn it, air pollution. If you dig it and put it, land pollution. So there is no method. You cannot take it out. So this EMS will help you to develop a product which is eco-friendly. Use all the supporting gadgets, equipments to manufacture that product as an eco-friendly. This is the product says. This is the standard says as well. In this standard, the definition is thrown in your slide. This is the definition. Please note it down in this definition and all. It will be exactly the definition. So here another impact. What is the impact? For impact also a definition there. Any change to the environment, whether a beneficial wholly or partially resulting from the organization environment aspect. See, environment aspect means if a company uses a paper, that will be directly impacted in environment, right? It will be partially or wholly resulting in any pollution part. So if you decrease the paper use, and naturally the paper will not you buy, right? So we will go in digitally. So the many trees will not be cut, right? That is the main criteria, is aspect and impact. So you must identify in your home what are the aspects, what are the impacts first. If you have a papers, what you will do? What you will do? Your currency itself a paper, right? So your currency itself a paper, right? So that is also a pollution. So that's why we are going for digital India. So slowly we must change ourselves. Where we have Australia, they are gone. Yeah, they are not using any currency, or they are going for a ATM and all that. But as a developing country, we must have a slow progress. But as a students, you are the young minds, right? You must develop within yourself. So that in your future or 10 years back, you will be a leader where you cannot you might have decreased much. You might have decreased this currency note into digital part, where our petty shops and all will be using digitally, not currency. See, that man must change. The petty man who is down, he must change, right? For that, we need more innovation, low cost innovations. more, because we need no class. Why? We are developing country, simple. No much explanation. We are very much developing country. We have poverty, yes. We have illiteracy, yes. Everything is there. So students, please made it down these two definitions. That is the prime source of EMS. What is aspect and what is impact? What you buy, what you save. So other things, right? So next we are this is the office where we are going to show this activity and products. This all two related with our environment only. The activities or product or services. If your manufacturer is not the company, but you are using the service, that is also one kind of thing. So let us identify the environment aspects. So these are the lists. How to identify the aspect. So aspect is nothing but the which is affects the environment. Simple. Affects the product which straight away affects the environment. That is called as aspect. So aspects are there: the use of gas, electricity, waste streams, and use of water. So how to minimize this use of water? This is also an aspect, right? This straight away it will be decreasing our groundwater level. That is impact. If you use more water here in your home, so groundwater decreases. How to increase the groundwater? That is your new thinking. If you frame this two, you will get an idea. So these are the energy related aspects. Our air conditioner, right? We use in car everywhere. It is lightning, compressors, equipments. The use of paper and use of water and others. This is two simple things. The use of water and use of paper. This too is the prime source which is making more impact in the current environment. So in your company, these are the places where this aspect and impact will be tested. All parts of operation, the maintenance, canteen, and the cooling system if we are manufacturing, the vehicle parking, right? The parking, why we say parking, right? So if you see, if you are a pollution certificate in this, who has pollution certificate in this group? Anybody has pollution certificate for a bike? Just put a 3. Anybody has a pollution certificate? By you are testing your bike as a pollution? Are you testing it? Anybody? I will give you 10 seconds time. Anybody has pollution certificate? Okay, see. So this kind of we will not go and test our vehicle itself as we have centers. We have government itself doing it. We have centers. Everybody is caution. If you go for a hill station and all, if you are placing, if you are your native is hill station, you might have seen there is compulsory. You must test your get your pollution certificate for your vehicle. You must renew it 6 months once. So now we are stingening everywhere. It is needed, not in hill station alone. We need in the plains also, in Chennai as well. Delhi, you see, you cannot breathe now, right? So we must live with the nature, boys and girls. These are the things, right? So cause aspect and cause impact, right? So how n number of paper you are using, the impact is waste. It goes end with dustbin only, right? Every papers are ending with dustbins. Can you anybody deny it? Can anybody deny it? Whatever you're using in your paper, everything is going into dustbins. You are taking a wrong printout. The printer will be printing. You are given unknowingly 3 printers or 4 printers at a time, pages. Everything is going into waste. See, so these kind of aspect and impact you must decrease it less. These are the 4 common impacts. What you do mistakes, these are the 4. Air pollution, which spoils your lungs. Land pollution, you cannot live it. Water contamination, water contamination, what you will do? Anything? Liver, straight away it will affect the liver in the hepatitis. You know hepatitis, right? Hepatitis C, hepatitis A, hepatitis C, B. These 3 things, hepatitis is a where is a virus in our body. This water contamination definitely will cause in your human life. So these are the pollution we must slowly decrease it, right? Decrease it as well. So see, this is a use of electricity and see, how it printers the paper and electricity. So how you must use it wisely and effectively. These are the two simple pictures I show. First, to identify and score it. So we have as in standard, it says to score every aspect and impact. Score in the sense low, medium, high. So which is on the alarm? Just the high. High means you must definitely take a action on it. If it is medium, you cannot. You can also, but it is very low. So please think of this high and medium to work in. These are the. So you must develop your policy by considering these three: severity, occurrence, and detections. These are the three common words. You must download this EMS also. It's available for 2001. It is available in your Google. Just download it and look for these three-word definitions. Severity means what it says in every standard is nothing but it will be defined in the standard. That's it. The definition will be solid. That definition you must read it 3 to 5 times, because in one go you cannot understand the definition. You know it as an engineer students, we have n number of definition in our books, but if you repeatedly read it like a Kamalhaasan film, if you watch one time doesn't get in your mind, you must regularly watch it, then only you can understand. Like that, these kind of documents you must have a regular visits, the standards and all. Please look for these three keywords, what the definition is in your standard. That is available in Google. If you can download it easily. So you must catch that right vendor as well, not only the organization. The standard says who are the supplying the vendor, who is the vendor for that organization, that they also must be under EMS, right? They also you are supplying, you are getting, so get from the right people. Like the friends, please join with good parties, right? So interest people needed, interested property readers. So that's why our government is taking n number of steps to giving a schemes, many schemes. Many Modi ji is giving more, but take the right one and do it. So the government is there to help the people, right? So to people in the sense, the vendor also must change. The particular vendor or supplier of that organization who carries 14,001, the vendor also must change to the environment. So we must educate the vendor as well. These are this is how we score the severity, right? The severity, occurrence, and decretion we can find in that Google document itself. There we will be have a table where it is a risk priority number will be displayed over there neatly. So the reduce the waste is the much target. 10% by the end of the year is the objective. So the policy will be framed in three: severity, occurrence, and as well as last one, severity, occurrence, and detection. So the objective will be framed with the wastage. So we must decrease the percentage. So this year I must generate the waste within 10% only. So within the home itself we can do it, right? You can implement 14,001. How to decrease? Please look into the kitchen part. You go into the kitchen or refrigerator, anywhere where is the waste is generated much more, just you examine. So these objectives and targets will be useful for making the promise policy, environment policy for that particular organization, but your exercise will be particularly your home first to change it. So this up to this we have seen this environment management system. What is this environment management system? 14,001, where we had aspect and impact. Anybody? It's a very new to topic, right? So please respond to this standard. How it is, what how it was. Please respond in your chat box. If you understood, put this as one. Please reply with one. if you understood with 14,001 environment management system. Good, good. So are you ready? This one guys who are boys who are given, are you ready to make in your home 14,001? You can you make an exercise 14,001? Yeah. Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now we are going ahead. Now we are cleared the environment part. So we have seen. Thank you for the reply, guys. Thank you. Now we have gone into. We have gone into. First we have seen quality, and then environment. Third part is safety. This is very crucial, right? So somebody will be waiting in your home, right? If you start your bike, your father and mother just will be seeing one time how your bike start will reach safe, right? You must also keep in mind that I will must safely travel back to the home, right? How you go, you come back, right? So the safety norms is much essential. So where we use safety as helmet, right? And put helmet is the first part there. So I check the brake as well periodically to the bike. So anybody is checking or maintaining your bike as well, checking, right? So you must checking your bike as a engineers, right? You might have any discipline, right? Whatever the equipments you use in your in your home, you are the first user. So you must not be like others. You must check your own car or bike with safety aspect. Is the seat belt is working, is tight or not? You must have a regular check. Inspect your check. So you develop your skill not for money, not for money. First, first skill develop for a human first, for to save the human and the environment. Then you can survey you can go for money. So skill is much essential than getting a job and earning lakhs of money. So now we are going for safety part. So this in the safety, we are going here. It is only species is targeted. This standard is one species is targeted, where is human species. So human species, we must save it. Now we have made this environment, so other species are safe now. So how the human will be? This is the part. So this OSHA's, what is the OSHA's stand for? Hazardous Health. You see, the abbreviation is there. Hazardous Health and Safety Assessment Specification. This part is recognized for every industry to adopt safety norms. That's it. Safety, how to work with hazardous material, right? So here I can give you a term as a chemical engineer. Definitely you might have come across this MSDS, right? What is MSDS? Anybody can tell, right? MSDS, what is the full form? As a chemical engineer, definitely uh, this abbreviation is as much essential. Good response, very good. Material safety data sheet, very good. So anybody has seen it? This material safety data sheet. Anybody has seen it? This anything you have seen it? Read it? Read it? That's a MSD of a product. No, right? So please, it is available in the Google itself. Please read one MSDS. This is the chemicals related, I think, chemical related product will be having this MSDS document, where the manufacturer will give exactly how hazardous percentage, what you must do. I can take a thinner, right? Thinner is a chemical, right? How if you buy a locally, MSDS will not be given, right? So if you buy a branded only, they will give a MSDS, right? So human safety is decreased, see, with the cost. It must not be there, right? It must not be, because human is the highest value among all the species. But see the money play. So please, students, please, I think for a low product, you can write write your own MSDS. I think so. I think so. As a chemical engineer, you can write your own MSDS. This is also one kind of exercise. Where our chemicals are used in your home, maybe in toilets, right? So if you keep toilets as a clean and clean, no other god is required, right? That is the clean is the only god we have. Yes, definitely. If you make it clean inside and outside, definitely floor as well. Everywhere good. Everywhere we will be cleaning, right? For that you make a MSDS, right? You just see what is a hazard, what is a, just write it. So where our mother and father where they are misusing that product, that's kind of chemicals, just observe it. But seeing is different than observe. Please observe where the chemicals are handled in wrong way. That helps you to frame a MSDS. Okay, so we are going for ahead with this occupational hazard. Occupational means, what is occupational? It is a professionally, how the professional health and safety must be maintained. So health and safety is much more important to every people here. So this is key. So then we are going for this standard says to identification of hazard and risk assessment. We say we as a HERA. So first you must identify the hazard, where it is. In your home itself, you can identify your hazard, own hazard, and risk assessment. You must calculate the risk, how far it is risk. It is a risk with the probability, and as well as you must, if it is high risk, you cannot make it as zero, right? Any hazard cannot be made as zero because that hazard is essential, correct? That's chemical is essential. That chemical is used for floor cleaning, right? It is much more essential, but it must not be taken by child, right? So in manufacture also you need hazardous identification. This skill will be developed when you are practicing more. What are the hazard? First you list what are hazard. What is hazard? Which is accidental, which can cause an accident. That is a hazard. One line step. In Indian Army, another test is there where they will give you one word and give you 10 seconds. You must write at once in first thought. If they show hazard, I will write a cause of accident. Right? This is the skill. This is the creativity, speed you must develop inside to become an auditor. You can say other word as a fault finder. That fault finder is a good fault finder. So this analysis will help you to develop to minimize the safety. So if it is a safety is high, this is the chart. So this is a chart where we will look for. So you can see a low risk, medium risk, high risk. In the low risk, what is that? Will be acceptable. May be acceptable, right? May be acceptable. Without any review, may be acceptable. If you see the medium risk, what is medium risk? The task should only be undertaken with appropriate management authority after consulting with specialist. So we need here PPE. So we need here personal protection equipment. So the right protection PPE is needed. So the engineer is the only person to choose the right product to minimize the hazard. So you identify the risk, you identify the hazard. So how to control the risk? So you must choose a right PPE. So as a welder, if it's a welder is there, what is the right PPE you will give to him? Definitely you put a gloves and a glass as well. But that glass can minimize his light. Our retina must not affect, right? So you must choose that right product to minimize that hazard risk as well. So hazard will be 100%. It will be there. So fire is there. You cannot minimize it, make it at high fire 0, but you can control with the right equipment. You can control with the right equipment, the accident will happen. So you must, before, you can heard about this near miss, right? So near miss, what is this near miss? So near miss and all, you might have an accident, you might have met in an accident, you might have, see the word, you might have met in the accident. That is a near miss. So please concentrate on near miss to minimize the risk first. So you can make it as 0. Where my company will be very, very strict. I was worked in Siemens Gamesa. Siemens Gamesa is for a windmill manufacturer and as well as servicer. So in the 2 megawatt windmill and all will be having height around 200 meter height, tuber 200 meter will be there. The person throughout the year they were very strict. The none accident has came. They were end of the day, one accident has came. That is fatal. So whole year they got bad recognitions. See how control we put, the people's mentality has not changed. We cannot do nothing. That's why in the start of the session it said the inside change is much essential than outside change. Standard will be in the outside, but who will follow it, execute it, change it? These are the words of positive. So next we are going with control measure. How to control the measure? See, they eliminate the hazard is more effective. Where it is, see, the more effective where it is to eliminate the hazard. So substitute the hazard. So isolate the hazard. See, the less effective is PPE. So you put a PPE and it will not minimize it. So you must eliminate the hazard. That is the more effective. See the top. You can substitute it, but you must eliminate it throughout that area. Then only the accident will not be happening in that area. So elimination part is the much better part. You must think it. Think it and put mere to put in a PPE. You cannot. The study has happened with PPE. Nothing has done. The accident is happening. He will be putting a helmet, right? That is a PPE given. How to eliminate it? Even the putting a helmet also dies, right? By falling from the high. So high risk also there. You will be might have taken work permit as well in good manner. In your chemical aspect, you can see n number of controls are there. PPE is available, but eliminating part in lab they have eliminated the hazard. That's why in chemical labs not still they are doing working. So elimination we must look off rather than using a PPE. So this is the brief idea what of OSHA. So the 3 part has been covered. So now if you see the OSHAs, anybody has a doubt on OSHAs? Anybody is understood? Can put 1 in your chat box for OSHAs. Good. Arvind is for throughout 3 standards. Arvind were first initiator, and as well as any questions raised, Arvind is good. He is responding well. Thank you, Arvind. Thank you. This initiation is good in you. This is a good skill. Right away, one throws a query and definitely the bounce back. Answer is bounce back. Good, good, good. See, the Arvind is the person who came first and respond. Good. You are alive in my session. Thank you, Arvind. Thank you. All the people who has followed Arvind is alive in the session. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So please, Mia, do not drop these ideas and all in here itself. Please continue this idea throughout your home as well. Thank you. Thank you very much for the speaking with you and knowledge transfer, sir. Gokul sir, are you there, sir? Yeah, madam. Thank you, madam. Madam, your voice is low, madam.
Yes, sir. Request the interns to put your queries in the chat box.
any students has a doubt on standards, you can straight away ask to me. I have covered this 5 years concept. Anybody has doubt in 5 years, and as well as I have covered this 9,001, 18,001, and 14,001. These are the standards. Anybody has a doubt can raise up. Arvind, do you have a doubt? Thank you. Jai Surya.
Or you can even, yeah. So there are some queries.
Yeah, ma'am. And I can see it. Please explain about risk priority number. Correct. Yeah, the risk priority number. That is the input data. How strong it is. So if you see in our risk, what I lastly shown to you, I am going for that page where the risk priority number is there. Yeah, this is the slide where risk priority number. This is the severity, means the severe, how severe it is. So if you see the standards, the three definitions will be there: severity, occurrence, and detection. So detection will be explained in standard itself. So you can download it, and the standard there the table is given neatly. So with that you can do it. So severity means how severe it is, how severe. And the occurrence may be if you consider paper, if your paper we are regularly using the paper, means the severity is high. So detection, how far you are detected. So how far you are seen that that activity is happening, how far it is seen. If one time you are seeing one guy is using a paper for one time, and that is okay, but is using for right cause, how he disposing the paper, that is also is essential. So the severity, that's included in severity. So the severity rate increases as our priority number increases. So the priority number increases means you must minimize that impact. So impact will be more. So if the risk priority number is larger, so the impact will be more. So that is the input we are getting from this risk priority number. So another query raised by ISO regulation. All the industry follow the ISO regulation. Yes, every industry follows ISO, including our TNEB, right? So they also have ISO. So everybody is following to better their own product. Are there any other standard followed in industry other than three discussed? Yeah, this three is the prime source. This three. So if you go for other standards is only applicable for accounts people. So account people, they are n number of. So as an engineer, this three is a prime source where you must look for it primarily. And Arun, can one engineer manage thinking all management in the work field? Yes, it is possible, sir. Yeah, good question. Can one engineer, right? So the engineer means itself where is responsible. This standard will reflect only his roles and responsibility. If he's in manufacturer and he is a production manager, he's in under protection, right? These three roles will be impact. You must see the safety of that worker, and as well as the production line, all the used equipment is in eco-friendly, and also he must manage his QMS. So the one engineer must manage these three things. So it is capable. I have done it. The three things I have managed is well. So that is called engineers. So that's why we are giving in one abbreviation, integrated management system, instead of three. So three needed. The skill is needed to an engineer. Sir, you can please share about your journey from graduate engineer to your current push in your career. Yeah. This is this graduate. I have graduated in 2010. After graduation, I was recruited in transformer manufacturing industry. So I am a electrical guy. So first I got into a transformer manufacturing industry, where I get into a design part. So transformer designer I was. That was so that company was manufacturing the transformer for many years. They have taken the unit from British. So the British transformer name HHV, that was a very good transformer. Now you can see in Chennai or somewhere else in British where they were served more, you can see the HHV transformer still now it is working. Not even humming sound will be coming perfectly all right because of the quality what they put in. So now kind of some local transformers you can see that the humming sound will be crossing the next street. So this is the quality of it. So after then I switched into this wind industry. So wind power industry. I was working with Vestas as well. Vestas is a German company where in Muppandal, Kanyakumari and all, they put 225 kilowatt. You can go in the, you can, if you see a Tirunelveli, Kaitar, Kanyakumari, more wind power will be there. After that, I'm switching into Siemens Gamesa. The Siemens Gamesa were a manufacturer of offshore as well as onshore. What is offshore? Putting the windmill in ocean. Onshore, putting in land. So both they were in the major, and there I have worked, and then I got into TNAB in 2017. Till now I'm in TNAB in headquarter in Mount Road. So this is the path where I have traveled. First 5 years I invested mainly. I was looking for a army job, Indian Army job, where I was goal was lieutenant to become a lieutenant in Indian Army. So I was put in 5 years over there. So age has bad. So now also I have a chance. You doesn't know, you guys. Indian Army will take up to 40 as well. So 40 entries there. Even though you are working in your private company, you can serve to a nation with some roles. So these are my paths. What are the qualifications required to become auditor? Anybody, even the 10th class student can become an auditor, right? Anybody can become auditor, no qualification. Just you need a creative mind, fault finding. First you might be a fault finder. You must find something, right? You must find a finder. You must be a finder first. This auditor is a engineering background auditor, not a CA auditor or tax auditor. Do not mix with that. There's a separate concept. Mainly in quality, QC, the quality control, who is the manufacturer in the quality control, they will be first, they will be there in this. Uh, they were who are you please look into the job where the QC is there. If a company runs during COVID, how will be the environment management system helps the work? Yeah. So yeah, the COVID will help in OSHAs, not in environment management system, because the safety norms and all will be coming over there. So we can mark it where the people must stand, how the sterilizer will be kept, and if a person is in medical industry, the person must fully sterilized. So the OSHAs will deal with this. Environment means that will environment will not the COVID is not affecting the environment, it's affecting the human bodies. So human bodies will be taken care by OSHAs. The safety norms will be developed with the course. So definitely the COVID will help. The OSHAs will help. Definitely OSHAs will help to minimize the COVID, but we cannot minimize it. We are surveying with n number of virus and bacteria now, right? We have discovered vaccine and put in, but if you put a vaccine also, the disease comes later, right? So no. So we must change where we must change exactly. We must find out. This is it is this question is going like this. Where we must change, right? So nothing change within ourselves. We must change. Nothing else. So another question, sir. I think the maximum all the industries are standardized with the environment. Okay, but the impacts are more on the environment. How would this? Yeah. Here the question is much more. It is there as everybody is not using this environment. only you might have seen the board with 9001. Environment management system is a system the companies must participate in that too. But this process is slowly incorporating into recommending every manufacturer to go into 3 standards where is IMS and all is there. So here we can see how the standards increases, the product price also increases. So as a innovative ideas you have only you can give it in your low price, right? You must make a product with low price, right? That is the serving tendency, serving nature, right? So if, every industry must go with 9,000, this 14,000 and survey with that. So some industries are lagging behind. Slowly it may be coming in future. Definitely they are looking forward. Government are taking steps to put in. Thank you, Arun. Thank you.
So
Okay,
any other queries, if you want, you can unmute and ask.
Who is the person? Arvind can unmute. He is an initiator in chat. Now in unmuting, who is the initiator? We can see it, right? We have around 70 plus participants. This kind of quality, who is initiating is only looking after Indian Army to become a lieutenant. Yes. Yeah, open up. If you open now, I think you will be opening yourself first. Yeah.
Since the session was so interactive, I think they are done with their queries, I suppose, sir, because already you made it very much interactive. You made them to answer everything. So if there are no doubts, sir, we appreciate your effort on this session, which was actually, it can be compared to the lines, simple and to the point is always the best way to get your point across. We do accept. Our interns got your points. As you have insisted, skill is more essential than job or money. And yeah, there is a outcome, including, so there is one query, including hydrocarbon projects also will make more impact on environment.
Yeah, it's a good, the carbon part is very good. So because this carbon is the first enemy to the nature, right? So we are developing slowly. Mainly in my experience, I have seen the carbon causing more impact in windmills using metal products. Where the metal products are more, they will be undergone with the rust oxidation as well. So the manufacturing of metal products itself, they must implement this kind of standards where they can minimize their own products. So the carbon is the first enemy for all the greenhouse effect as well. The greenhouse is mainly for carbon, right? So our vehicle, carbon. Everywhere carbon is much, because this lowest cost product is effect of carbon. So minimize it. So we need latest invention more rather than going for high cost product with less carbon emission. So as a student, I open up to you guys to invent and have a research mind in yourself to have more startup as well.
Yep, sir. So I think our interns will take up your words to find out the details on occupational health and safety assessment. You have insisted them to check their own material safety data wherever it is applicable at home. So we do accept. We have enjoyed the session as it was very much fully interactive. Thank you so much, sir. And I apologize because your profile was very big. Due to
No
time
problem,
constraint, we
madam.
have made it
No issues
very
on that, madam.
brief.
No
I
issue.
think.
This I am much more happy to interact with the students because our
Yes.
Gokul sir is taking forward the Abdul Kalam's mission. I think we could not support him full time as a government employee. I was strict with work. We could not, but he is taking more this Abdul Kalam vision, more ahead, more ahead, more ahead. He's working restless always. I thank you and Gokul sir for the opportunity, madam.
It's a pleasure, sir. So I request Gokul sir to give his thoughts and words before concluding this session. Gokul sir.
Yes, Prakash, thank you so much, Prakash, for joining in the evening of this day. Definitely, I think maybe before start of the session, student may not be know about what is this IMS, QMS, and all. Now, definitely, I think they got some base knowledge, and with so much of interactions, that is very important. And I think what Prakash said in the last moment, I think tomorrow onwards, the feedback session is going to be there for all of you, and you are all going to come in the video mode, and you are going to unmute it. We are going to pick up randomly, and you are going to be questioned. So be aware of it. I don't know like why final year students are hesitating so much in coming out. I am saying you past 4 lectures, you are going to enter into industry level. Still, you are not coming out. It's going to be very, very tough. Maybe tomorrow onwards, I think we have decided to have a feedback session separately, which is being going to be an video on session, and you are going to deliver your own feedback for past 4 days, what has happened, and each session also. With this, I think I thank our Prakash Muralidharan who could able to join from his office at this late evening. Definitely, Prakash, I think IEA and Ushago Solution, thank you so much. This is, I think, you are giving a second session in this summer and monsoon internship. Definitely, I think whenever support is required, we always take from you. So nothing to worry about it. So we'll always carry your words also. With this, I think we will come to the conclusion. Any final words by anybody, they can open up. Otherwise, we can able to end the session. Prakash, anything from you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate the involvement made by all the students. They are only listeners. Here we can find around 70 plus listeners. In the chat, yes, sir.
More than 80 students are there.
More than 80 students are listeners.
I feel this is the session. I think more interactions has happened from the starting onwards. So that is one good.
So that's why I use the tool chat. Chat only the people will be interested in typing rather than talking.
Yes.
So that's why I use the chat. People, students, if you talk now, it will be better if you grow adults. So please talk.
So maybe I thought to have an assignment from you, but nevertheless, no problem.
Yes, sir. We can make it assignment. What I have given the home, everything is assignments, sir. In each standard, so what I have given, everything is assignment. 3 assignment which I have given in the homework. So you can see first assignment is the quality. I have pick up the quality measures. What are in your home, and as well as in your environment aspect and impact. Please make the 2 aspect. What is the aspect? What is the impact? You now clearly got an idea what is aspect and impact. Please frame in your home itself what is the aspect and impact. How can I minimize it? And as well as we have a safety measures, OSHAs as well. So in 3, you can, in your home itself, you can do.
Okay, so assignment also started for all interns. So I think maybe you can take a week time. So maybe next before Wednesday, I think you can submit this assignment. If further more queries, I think Prakash sir has given his number, so that our email ID need not to have his number. So that
go for this slide also, sir. The backs I will display that my email ID and phone number. This is my email ID and phone number. Please drop in. I can see.
Yeah, your certificate values for this assignment also. So I request all the interns to participate, because the more you involve yourself, then you can understand the system more. Otherwise, it becomes like I think it will be formatted. Tomorrow you will have new sessions will be there. So with that, I think we will come to the conclusion. And thank you so much, Prakash. I think the IEA TVLC appreciate your effort in bringing this new topic. Definitely, I think it's a need of your hour. And the finally, especially, they wanted these kind of a topic so that once they step into any industry, they need not to have search for the basics. So today, I think the session will be like much more interesting one and interactions one. Thank you so much, Prakash. So can we end, Prakash? No issues, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. You can end, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Also, Subhashri, ma'am.